Learning is a byproduct of getting kids to do the right things, okay? Voluntarily, with commitment and meaning, okay? That's where it starts. So, obviously, you had to figure out what different kids want to do, and then design the work in such a way as they get their motives satisfied. And if they get their motives satisfied, they will do what needs to be done. For example, kids need some protection from consequences of failure. So if you got kids who, in this learning activity, have experienced nothing but failure, if you're going to get them to do the stuff they need to do in order to learn the stuff you want them to learn, you're going to have to be unusually attentive in that case to protecting that kid from the consequences of failure. I mean, negative consequences. On the other hand, if you've got a kid who seldom fails, you don't have to worry about that nearly as much. But they're probably going to need some sense of affirmation that they responded to a challenge. They want some feeling of, by golly, I did this. Okay, that may be, may not be. But you have to know the kids to know which things motivate them to do the stuff they need to do in order to learn the stuff we want them to learn. That means you need to know what they need to do in order to learn it. And then what their motives are. And so you differentiate. It's not the knowledge you differentiate on the basis of. It's the motives you differentiate on the basis of. And you know, too often we assume that all kids come to us with the same motives, or we say they're unmotivated. I've never met an unmotivated child. Some aren't not motivated to do what I want them to do. And they're motivated by other things, but they are motivated. I've never seen a child not being motivated. The real question is finding out what their motives are, and then designing work that appeals to those motives. You know, and I've tried to list 10 things, 10 areas that provide you with a heuristic device that allows you to think about ways of categorizing student motives. They'll kind of fall within this big range. And so you differentiate based upon kids' motives at a particular point in time, and that differentiation. See, the question, are we dealing with the logic of the kids or the logic of the discipline? When I started in this business, much of the curriculum materials were designed around what Jerome Bruner called the logic of the discipline. And we tried to design our curriculum materials in response to the logic of the discipline. That was that every child can fit into that at some level. And every child can learn this stuff at the level at some, and so we match the kids' intellectual maturation to some place in the discipline where they can manage it. That's not all wrong. Don't hear me. But that doesn't get you very far unless you understand why would anybody do this and want to climb that structure. You got to have motives to want to do it. You got to have some reason to want to do it.